And I'll tell you guys since we're all friends. Every character I write has a piece of me in them. Hi, I'm Lee Bardugo. You're listening to the Grishaversary.
Welcome to Grishaversary, episode 169. In this episode, we will be playing some Halloween games with our producer, Chris. This is your host, Eric.
And I'm Terry from Nashville, Tennessee. This is your podcast for all things Grishaverse.
A world created by our lovely, wonderful Lee Bardugo. Moi sabiyenyi, casters.
Hello.
Oh, we have an intruder.
Oh my gosh. I can't breathe.
And she's horrifying. So obviously Grishaversary month, and we are in the studio. We have Golgoroth in all its horrifying. Ugh, gosh, Terry, you look horrifying.
I feel horrifying.
You look at the mask you are wearing is insane, and that's why she sounded muffled because
it's a lot.
She's talking through a mask. However, compliments, you did fantastic. This looks horrifying. You did good. There you go. Just keep it on your head like that.
Yeah, that's how it's going to have to be. We'll take better pictures.
Yes.
But it's going to have to sit oddly on my head because I can't breathe or see.
I think that looks good. I think you're good.
I'll just do this.
I think, wow. I'm impressed. Good job.
I mean, at first I was like, it might scare the little kids, but then I was like,
where are the little kids?
There's no little kids. We just read the book.
Right. No little kids to scare.
Like, this was actually really fun when I was like putting it together, and I was like, it was really difficult not to go completely overboard.
I bet with the blood.
Oh my gosh, I wanted it everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
I refrained.
Good job.
Thanks.
I like it. The handprint is, it all is something.
It is definitely something.
God.
Look, this is like a 50-cent mask from Temu. If anybody else would like to be Babbity, Rabbit, Zombie, Golgoroth,
yeah,
something or other, it's there.
Well, I would say that last week's rabbit and this week's rabbit are completely different.
Very, very different.
Yeah. It's Babbit, Rabbit, horrifyingly.
Yes.
Whew, good job, though.
It sure is. I mean, it could also kind of be like the dead Babbity Rabbit.
I hope not.
Like zombified.
Alex played and thought it was cute, and I hope that just because it died, it doesn't turn into that.
It's a zombie.
Yeah, the teeth the rabbit has also is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one mask I wanted, but it was like way too much for like what we're doing. But like the eyes and the teeth had like crosses, like X's, and the X's lit up. And I was like, I thought that would be amazing, but I was like, that's not, no.
Well,
I'm not going to a rave afterwards or anything.
We do anything on the show. I mean, you were here last week, and I couldn't even fit in the studio, really.
But this week, you are handsome.
I love this outfit. It's another one of my fun little play on the words, or play on words. I don't know why I said play on the words, but I dressed up as a prince.
Yes, you did.
And yeah.
It's very charming.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I've been wanting to hear that.
It looks Disney, but like also with your little like crowny crown. It's also kind of Game of Thrones, Fairyland.
Yeah.
Kind of Shadow and Bone. Like it's got a whole like thing going on.
I had fun. there were 3 different already put together Prince costumes that I was looking at. And then for some reason I decided I might just put it together. And it's actually like, and I was actually nervous because until today when I put it all on, I wasn't really sure whether it was going to all work, but it did. And I'm very happy.
And then you pranced around the house.
I know. I love it. I love the crown.
Yeah.
However, I do not love the sash.
No, the sash doesn't love you.
It does not.
It's not a good relationship.
No. I bought this on Amazon, and it's pretty much like a beauty queen sash. I didn't see, that's what, I don't know how they wear these or even keep them on, but.
They use double-sided tape for everything.
Oh.
Even their bikini bottoms.
Bottoms.
You put, and like on the tops, if you put double-sided tape, then you don't get like slips.
Oh. The more you know.
I used to have a job. That's,
Huh.
yeah. That's how, there's also like spray glue that you can use as well.
Oh, yeah.
Where I worked, we had shelves of spray glue.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It makes it easier when it can just stick on.
You just like, when you run back and you like have to dump all your ones.
Oh, yeah.
This makes it sound like I work somewhere that's even worse than like.
I know. You're making it sound like you were at
I'm making it sound worse.
Yes,
But you would have a bunch of ones and you would have to go like cash them in, and then you would spray yourself real quick to make your clothes stay on.
I think you should just say that you were bartending and like serving drinks, because you're making it sound like you definitely like were taking off your clothes.
I was a shooter girl. So I was bartender, shooter girl, and so you wore you wore like...
Cute clothes.
Yeah, cute. Like chaps with underwear and a skimpy little top and cowboy hat, and you had like little shooter looking like things, but it was shots, and then you straddled people and they gave you money.
We're all adults here, and we know like there's...
And that was good money, y'all.
It is.
That was so good.
Absolutely.
Such good money.
And
so many marriage proposals.
Those days were fun. I appreciated mine, and they were just, I couldn't do it today.
No.
But it was worth it.
Although I might make money for people saying, please put your shirt back on. Like I could make money that way. Oh, Lord.
Lordy. Well, I can't believe...
I'm slightly delirious, sorry.
It's okay. This crown is really hurting my head. It
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, babe.
Right there, though.
Yes.
Like, it's pinching my head, but I look cute,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all that matters.
Beauty is pain and some things like that.
It sure is. And I'm living for this. So we only have... Here we are, our 4th Grishaversary.
Yes.
And we've got 1 costume left after this.
Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness.
And it's killing you that I have not told you what I was hoping that you would do, because I had a vision. And now maybe I just need to like hold it for next year.
Well, so you gave me a hint.
Yes.
And you said it had to do with my first costume, a pilgrim. So I really thought that this week I was it.
You're like, nailed it.
I was like, I think she wants me to be the prince. But now I'm really confused. Because if it has to do with, is it a character?
Uh-huh.
So maybe we should just wait and see.
There's probably people screaming it right now too, because it's...
Okay. Well, let's see what happens next week, because my next week costume I'm excited about. And I just have to learn a few tricks before. So that sounded a lot worse than it meant to. But
I mean,
hey. Anyways.
Apparently it's going to be that type of episode.
Right. So,
From the second you said 169.
yeah, episode 169.
Moving on.
We are. So, let's see.
Yeah, so I had to text Eric last night
You did.
at midnight
Yes.
because my foster dog decided in the dark to go chasing after a new friend. And I didn't know what was happening, so I walked over there trying to like find him. And I can see him because he's mostly white. And I have my flashlight of my phone on and I see him like running towards me. And he's got that like excited dog thing going on, where you're like, he's chasing something, but I don't see it. And there's neighborhood cats everywhere, like black neighborhood cats, literally everywhere. And so I thought that maybe that was it, but I was like, wow, this cat sure is like close to him. And I'm still like kind of watching him, and I finally get this like, I can see black fur, and it is like 2 feet from my foot.
Oh.
And that's when my brain was like, skunk. It did not have a white stripe. It's an all black skunk. It had like this little tiny touch of white like on its tail, but it didn't have the white stripe to reflect my light off of.
The deception.
I know. So, and it's running straight for me. And I have this like moment of like, don't run. Like, and then my brain is like, it's not a bear.
It's not a lion.
Like, I can outrun it.
Yep.
But my brain is like, stay calm. Don't run. Make yourself bigger and scarier. That's not going to work with a skunk. It's going to spray you. So I just start backing up like fast, like whoop, 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 whoop. And Pierce, the dog, just like keeps like, hey, what's going on? Oh my gosh, you're a friend. I love you. And then like, I don't know when it happened exactly, but like, because I kind of took off and I was yelling at him, like, let's go, come on, let's go. And it was like pure chaos because now he's barking and I'm yelling and the skunk is now making crazy skunk noises because now it's like beyond threatened and it's
hissing.
Yeah, it's like hissing and making like a weird clicky like kind of like noise.
Wow.
And
speaking in tongues.
It goes to like hide, but Pierce is like, "Nuh-uh, friend. And he's at this point he has been sprayed, but he was like, screw it.
I don't care.
We're gonna have some more fun. And like they can spray like 3 times, I think, before they they're out. So there's no telling how many times, like direct shot in the face. He's barfing. He's like doing that roll.
Oh, he got shot in the face.
Yes, in the face. Like in the nostrils.
No wonder he was.
His eyes are like bloodshot red.
Oh, poor thing.
He was like foamy. Like his mouth was like foamy. And
because he caught in his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's midnight and I'm texting Eric because Eric's dog has this like kink for skunk spray or something. Like she is all about it.
I am a professional at knowing how to get skunk smell off of your dog, specifically mine.
I'm like, please help me. And it did for the most part work, but like I'm outside at midnight in the dark with a hose that like doesn't work very well.
Right.
With this like concoction in a bucket and a sponge, and I'm trying to hold on to him without him rubbing all over me and like spraying him with the cold hose. And like Rylan, my autistic child, is like standing up on the thing asking me 100 questions and it's overwhelming me. And like I hadn't gotten much sleep and I didn't feel good and I was fighting whatever kind of headache and it was a whole big chaos thing. And like I'm yelling like, Pierce, stop it. And it was it was chaos.
It is.
It was chaos. And it started getting later and I was like, a neighbor is going to come over or they're going to call the cops.
It is chaos though when your dog does get sprayed. It is chaos because the dog goes crazy.
Uh-huh.
And they've got oil on them and don't realize, like, I don't know. Lucy was horrified, but at the same time, I I think after the fourth time, she then knew that she was like scared of us because she knew that we were gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad I was able to help. Because you sent a text to Chris and I.
Yeah.
Chris was passed out already, and I was still up actually, and I was like, "Oh, girl, I got you."
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm so glad I could be there for you. Lucy hasn't. Oh my gosh, I should knock on wood
Yeah.
because she for some reason this past I think has a. I'm trying to remember whether she got sprayed last year at all or not. But she used to like it ended up being every year I had to deal with it. But the worst is at night when it's late. It would always happen when I was getting ready to go to bed, and the whole procedure just is it's time consuming.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
well,
That was a lot.
well, I'm glad you made
So,
it through it.
Yeah. Just needed to share that story.
So, for any of our listeners out there, if you ever need to know what to do, just to, get in touch with GrishaCast. We'll be able to help you. Actually, it's really easy. It's 3 ingredients. It's hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and this is a very important part. You have to use the blue dish Dawn soap. Only that one, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, luckily it got most of it out, and he doesn't smell like
Skunk.
he did when he first oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for your thanks for your recipe.
I'm just glad it worked, and yeah, that is horrible. So,
Yes.
yuck.
Okay, so we have some kind of like, I guess, questions about Halloween. We're kind of, I guess, dipping away from the Grishaverse a little bit. This is just us having some Halloween fun and talking, answering some questions and such.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay. We talked about this a little bit, and also I think Chris is going to chime in on this. But
Yay.
I think we talked about a little bit last time. What was your favorite Halloween costume as a kid?
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
I'll just go
Yes.
first then. So, I had a little monkey outfit. I was a baby, and my mom has kept it. I still have it. Can't fit it.
that's cute.
How old were you?
I like 4 maybe.
Oh, then that was your favorite one?
Well, maybe it's my favorite because I still have it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a tub in the garage with everything else my mom kept, every bit of schoolwork and every picture I drew and every paper that the teacher sent home.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cute. So, one that I'm going to say most memorable, and actually it's dipping into Purim, which is another holiday with costumes, but I kind of
Yeah.
it's together. My mom and dad dressed me up as a Hershey Kiss,
Oh.
and it was just, a hula hoop with aluminum foil, and then I had an aluminum foil hat with a big piece of long paper coming out that said kosher kiss. Because I wasn't only just a Hershey Kiss,
You
I was
were
a kosher kiss.
Kosher kiss.
So how about you?
I think I talked about my gym costume. I really liked that a lot. But when I was a freshman in high school, my mom and I collabed on, because I was always a vampire every year, from when I could choose. And we actually made this really awesome costume and a really awesome cape, because back then you couldn't really find it easily. We didn't have Amazon.
Yeah.
And so my foster brother Jeff would go rent a tux, and then I had a whole thing that we said that was our, and I wore that every year. So I still have it. I still have the cape.
I like homemade costumes. I had another one when I was older. I was probably 12 or 13, and my dad helped me make this robot costume. And it was it was a bunch of boxes, and they painted them silver, and it was miserable. I had dryer vents for arms, and I could only walk by shuffling my feet. But it wasn't my favorite, but it was fun because it was homemade,
Yeah.
I had one of the There used to be this. Gosh, I'm going to date us here, but in the '80s, there was this little square device with a bunch of square buttons on it that taught you multiplication tables, and it had like 1 by 1, 1 by 2, and when you push it, the answer would show.
Yeah.
And so they taped that to the front, so because it looked kind of robotic with buttons and stuff. So I'm walking around with this like multiplication trainer on my front, and this big square box as a head with antennas and stuff, and couldn't see anything, but. It wasn't my favorite costume, but it was fun because I got to make it with my family.
Aw.
Oh, that's sweet. You know, when you were just saying we had this thing back in the 80s and you started describing it, I thought you were describing a calculator. And I was like, we have those.
We had a box that would help you multiply.
And then I heard you, and then now I know what you're talking about. Okay,
Oh
the
my gosh.
trainer.
It was like the predecessor to the speak and say or speak and spell or whatever.
Yeah.
It was all manual.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, those are
that's
were
really cute. That is cute. Have you ever, because talking about dating ourselves, when you went to like Halloween parties, did you ever do like the bobbing for apples thing?
I did. I think I did it once, and it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's yeah. It looks fun, but no. Mm-mm. I would
It's not enjoyable.
no. It's not. I don't know why I would ever do that again. I don't. If I need an apple, I'll just go buy one or pick one out of the bin with the one. Like, it hurts your teeth too.
I wonder like how that became a thing. Drown yourself to try to take out a bite of an apple? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the history of it. I remember some friends of my parents had these really elaborate Halloween parties, and I did do the bob for apples one time, and I thought I was drowning, so I never did it again. I was kind of afraid of it, but it's kind of like reverse waterboarding, I guess.
It kind of is. It's like voluntary.
You're in control.
I
but-
know, but it's weird. Like, why would you? Because you can't breathe while you're opening your mouth, and I don't know. It's a weird.
And not every mouth is made to be able to latch on to an apple
Right.
underwater, you know?
No,
Yeah,
definitely not.
I did. Did you also do like the donuts on the stick or on the string on the stick? Like when they like hanging donuts, and you had to like eat them.
What kind of
I
Halloween
have
party was
no
that?
clue what you're talking about.
I've never heard of this.
Well, again, like I said, it's probably dating myself, but they were like traditional Halloween things. You'd have to play like Monster Mash, and
Is that kind of like a piñata, but with the donut dangling?
you had to put your like hands behind your back, and you have to eat the donut off the string.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was
Kinky.
the same. It's along the same lines as like bobbing for apples.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Chomping for donut.
I love a good Halloween party though. Like those,
Yes.
and those are so fun. I was just thinking that we went to Ron Sanford's, but no, that was the Christmas parties. Or did we go to a Halloween? I feel like we did for some reason. We went to a really cool Stranger Things
Yes.
Halloween party. That
Well,
was
If you remember, though, we did at the Nashville burlesque. I think
Alice
it
in
was-
Wonderland.
it was-
Yes.
yes, we dressed up as Alice in Wonderland.
We did.
That was fun.
Boolesque. Sorry, it was
Boolesque.
boolesque. It was around Halloween.
Yeah.
I loved that because if you look at the pictures, honey, you look miserable.
I
It-
looked like a drunk bunny.
You were you were so cute though. I loved it. Cuz your costume, didn't we rent it?
Yeah, we went to the theater supply and rented my costume, and
Yes,
I was always running late.
you were.
I'm
Oh,
late.
Oh,
for a very important date.
So is Nashville burlesque still even around
Uh-huh.
since COVID? I haven't seen. Okay, that's a really fun time. I think if anybody gets a chance to go to
Mhm.
it's Boolesque, if they still have it, it was really fun.
yeah.
I accidentally went to burlesque
Oh.
once, and well, not too long ago, and ended up knowing somebody that was burlesquing, and it was awkward, and we just leaned into it and just
Hey,
laughed through it, and
I love burlesque is beautiful.
I turned around because I heard, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know you work here." And then they were like, "Oh my gosh, no, I'm performing tonight." And I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
I don't know you like that, but I'm about to."
Yeah.
That would explain the pasties.
Well, it was a guy.
Still might explain the pasties.
Yeah. And it was like, I didn't even know what was happening. I like I was going into the bar and they're like, "Are you here for the burlesque show?" And I was like, "Yes?" Question mark.
Oh.
So, and it was Star Wars burlesque. I don't know.
What?
It was weird and nerdy and fun.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Wow.
Yeah.
At work today, I don't know how the subject, well, it's Halloween, but people brought up Rocky Horror.
Oh,
Have you ever gone to the theater to see that?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they did that in Franklin.
Yes. That's
Uh-huh.
exactly what I said. I don't know if they still do though. I know it used to be every Saturday when we were younger.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it might be a once a year.
I bet you're right.
Yeah. Because, like, do the younger people even know? I mean,
Right.
it was a thing when we were like, it
It-
predates us.
It's a huge cult classic.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Chris, have you ever seen it? Have you ever gone to like a midnight showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show where
An
they
immersive experience.
I think I went with you a long time ago
Oh.
to a Rocky Horror, and I didn't understand it at the time, but I think I went with you.
That sounds right. Oh, when we were friends.
Yes.
Oh.
That's cute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would have taken you to the Franklin one because it's the only one that we had.
I thought there was another theater in Nashville that did it. Belcourt?
So
I don't know if
No.
they wouldn't
Okay.
do the immersive one because they wouldn't want to mess up their historical
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, good point. I don't remember where it was then.
it was Franklin. It was the only one and it was near where I lived.
Because there was like a resurgence. Like there was a moment of time in the 90s when it came back and it was like hot again. And my foster brother introduced me to it.
It's a huge thing, and people really get into it. I think it's fun, and I think the movie is definitely like bizarre, and it's crazy. I think it's funny. Like, I mean, I think they're the different things they yell at it. Like, I mean, they
Yes.
have their own script,
Uh-huh.
and I think you can watch like there's a version of Rocky Horror that you can watch the movie and hear that
Mhm.
now.
Yeah, there's several, I think, recordings. But okay, so on that line of questioning, you're going to Rocky Horror immersive experience. Which character are you dressing up as?
Oh goodness. So I've never dressed up as any of the characters.
I'll tap out on this because I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm trying like I mean, I thought magenta like I mean, I don't know, like I'm not that yeah, probably I'm saying magenta, but that's because I thought she was the most amusing character, and my friend Kara always played her. However, oh gosh, what's the guy? So it's Susan Sarandon, and then she's dating what's his name?
It was Janet and Brad, right?
Yeah, I can kind of see myself as going as a Brad,
As Brad.
just because of the glasses. Although I always loved Rocky.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I always thought the ending of that movie is where it lost me.
Yeah,
The aliens.
yeah, but it was the sign of the times.
It's-
like when the movie was made, that was very like it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. I hope our listeners know what we're talking about. If you
Yeah,
don't,
I'm moving on after this question because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure our demographics aren't. But if you're younger and you don't know what we're talking about, look up Rocky Horror Picture Show. Susan Sarandon, if you don't know the T, she denied that was her for a very, very long time because it was very scandalous and she didn't want it to ruin her career. So it was kind of fun to be like in the know at the time of like, that's Susan Sarandon. But now she's okay with it. But
And it definitely was one of the, like, it's a queer movie. It's
Yes.
got, and it's a cult classic.
It is.
There are people that are absolutely obsessed with it.
yeah.
Bonkers. So,
Okay. So moving on from that so we don't keep like, I don't know.
our segues.
I mean, our segues are what they are, I guess. Okay. Absolute have to Halloween movie every year.
Oh, goodness. This is so hard. But I've got 2. Can I have 2?
Sure.
Okay. I actually was watching this before you got here. The Disney Sleepy Hollow cartoon.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
yes.
Bing Crosby is his voice is amazing because he's the one that I love that. I watch it every year. And then Hocus Pocus.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
That is such a millennial answer.
it is.
Like the millennials like love Hocus Pocus. Like once they got to be adult age and they could share with the world Hocus Pocus, it blew up.
I used to ride my bike down the street and put my arms out and sing, "Come, little children, I'll take thee away." Yep, I would pretend I was Sarah on my broom, which was a bike.
Oh.
I love that movie. Come on, it's like the costumes. It's Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, like before Sex in the City, and it was amazing. And the second one is really good, actually.
I haven't really seen it. I think
Oh,
the difference is it wasn't a memory for me, so I don't have the nostalgia.
okay.
So I didn't see it until I was an older adult, and it just
Oh, wow.
didn't do it for me because I don't have that nostalgia. So
Yeah.
I don't have that same. I'm also like not technically a millennial, so I just don't. I'm in a weird age. Like
Yeah.
I'm like half millennial, half X, and you just kind of mush those together, and that's me. But I didn't have that as like it's not a nostalgic
Yeah.
piece for me. Like Practical Magic, that is mine.
Oh.
Like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh, well, so I've seen that once. However, like, so is that what you would watch every year?
Yes.
Okay.
That is my Halloween movie.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I am a Practical Magic girly.
Okay. Um,
Sandra Bullock,
yeah. I
Nicole
know,
Kidman.
I've seen it once, so I don't really remember that much about it. I just remember them.
Sisters that have to hide their magic with the town,
Oh.
but everybody secretly whispers and knows. And then there's a murder and they have to cover it up. And
It makes me think of The Craft.
yeah, it's along that line.
I love that. How about you, Chris?
Admittedly, I've never been a huge Halloween fan, so I don't watch any Halloween movies on Halloween.
He watches what I make him.
Yes, yes. What are you watching? That's what I'm watching.
Exactly.
I don't like jump scares.
Nope. Yep.
So I can't watch things with like jump scares. So a guy that I work with is like super into that and he's all excited about all the stuff he's going to watch. I can't do it.
Nope.
I just cannot do the jump scares. I have a control issue anyway. Like I have control issues. And so if that's a reaction that I didn't control, so I don't like it.
Ugh.
This may be controversial, but I do like watching any movie that Eric's watching that has a jump scare.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I scream and it. Ugh.
Is that it, Chris? Is it Eric's reaction or is it just you like the jump scare?
It's usually his reaction. I don't get startled easy. When I was younger, my grandmother and I loved horror films, so
Ugh.
we watched everything we could find on VHS. I'm dating myself again. So I love horror films, and I don't get creeped out. I used to work in EMS, and I've seen a lot of stuff, but I just enjoy looking over at Eric clenched to the couch, and yeah.
I don't mind gore. Like gore is fine. It's just those jump scares. I don't like Like there's music and there's things happening, and all of a sudden everything goes silent. Like
Yep.
something is happening. So you're sitting there with this like anxiousness, and I hate that.
I hate scary movies because I guess I just like I know they're not real, but I can't shut that off. When I was younger, Freddy Krueger was horrifying to me. I had never even seen the movies, but I knew who he was, and he just the thought of him would keep me up at night.
Oh,
And oh my gosh, I am yeah, so scary.
oh,
I've it's along the same lines. I've been to one haunted house in my entire life, and because that's a jump scare kind of situation, never ever again will I pay anybody to scare the hell out of me for an hour. That's horrible. Why?
Do you remember the one in Bellevue?
At
Are you-
McDonald's?
No.
Oh. I just remember the one that
I used to work those. We used to
Yeah,
work
the big-
those.
I remember when my brother worked it when he was in band.
Yes.
And just it was do we have a haunted house in Bellevue?
We did. And again, like I don't think anyone in Bellevue's listening, so like you can't, date me or whatever. But over there where oh my gosh, where Bellevue 8 is, they put like a Dunkin' Donuts there's the road
Yeah.
that goes in between the two big roads. There's like a vet's
Yeah.
office, but so where that Shell station is, that property used to have a really, really old house on it.
Okay.
It was a property. It was like a historic
Oh.
property, and it used to have this like 3-story big old house on it.
Yes.
And every year they would have a haunted house, and it was like a for real terrifying chase after you with
Nope.
chainsaws, and
Oh
it was a lot.
God.
And like it was the type where when you came out of the house and you thought that you were done because you exited the house and you're like walking back to the front, like you'd have somebody, like you'd hear vroom, 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 like somebody come flying
Yep.
behind you and you have to go run.
I hate that stuff. Hate it. I and people love it. I do. Ooh, God. I scare myself by myself enough that like, oh Lord. Is it not the Bell Witch? Sorry. Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
When that came out in theaters, I for some reason went to go see it, and after that, like I was sitting outside of the movie theater, horrified.
So the younger people, again, sorry, this is just how this is going, don't understand that when that movie came out, it was marketed as a real movie, and we were forced to believe
Yep.
that it actually happened.
Mhm.
And now, like my younger coworkers and like my children, they're like, how could you be so stupid? We didn't have anything else. Like,
Yeah.
we were told this was a real thing. This was a documentary. And
The way
so,
it was
like,
filmed.
And so we believed it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we know better. But
We
like
do.
back then, listen, things were different, okay? And I told you I got to meet the guys that did that. And they like came to our office. Anyway, long story. But I got to meet them and I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Wow.
And then the younger coworkers were like, who is that? And I was like, oh my gosh, those are the people that did Blair Witch Project. And they were looking at me like, what? Okay, never mind.
My God.
Slay Queen, walking away.
Right. We're gonna go watch
We're just gonna-
Sharknado 4.
I'm just gonna walk away now. Okay, so being scary. So you hear a noise in your attic. You're home alone. Do you go check it out?
Hell no.
Do you ignore it like it never happened, or do you burn the place down and run away?
So are those my three options? And I need
No.
to, okay.
Somewhere in the middle.
I would definitely ignore it at first. And then if I heard anything else again, I would get Chris.
He's unavailable.
I would I would look at Lucy and we would try to figure it out. And if it got really bad, I would get in my car and drive the hell away.
You always got to send the dog first. Like, because if the dog's not scared, then it's
Right.
fine.
Ugh.
That's where I would go. But I don't always have a dog in my house.
Right.
But
Oh.
like to send the pit bull first to like see their reaction, like go get it.
Oh, no. I am. Our house creaks a lot, anyways. We like. There's all like. If it's dead silent, there's something wrong. So I can't function if it's dead silent. I just like I freak out.
Chris,
so-
are you go see it?
Yeah, I would probably grab my blaster and go investigate. But I
Pew,
would
pew.
also, like Eric, I would wait to make sure it didn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. It's always when you first hear it, you have that frozen, like, what? Is it going to happen again?
Lord.
My house was built in 1969, and it still has the original windows, those original wood, individually paned windows. And they have the spring on the side of them. And so the difference in like hot and cold, they'll pop real loud. And the one in my room popped yesterday, and it's like right next to my bed. It just like popped like real loud, and I jumped so far in the air, and it was like instant goosebumps everywhere. And it's weird because like in the middle of that reaction, like my brain is like, it's the window, but like your body is still like, wah. So yeah.
Ugh.
Do you watch ghost hunter shows?
No, I don't.
No.
But it's not because they scare me. I don't find it interesting.
Do you believe
I do.
in ghosts?
I do. I believe in that. There's places that definitely are haunted, and I do. Yeah. My friend Chris, not Chris, our producer, but when I was younger, I remember I stayed at his house, and he had this like it was an extension to the house that was like this kind of like this, like it was just another like building.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the story. It wasn't his place. That's right. It was like he was living there. He was a roommate, and it wasn't his property, but he said that like you don't go in that building after dark, and that there used to be like you would hear stuff. And when I stayed there, I thought I heard things, although now I'm wondering whether I really did, or because I could have just been kind of like making it up in my head a little bit and thinking I hear things. I also don't think I was sober, so that might have added
There's
into it as well.
that.
Because, yeah, you give me enough information, I can almost like make it happen in my head. So,
Oh.
anyways, do you believe in ghosts and haunted houses and things?
I do. I love watching ghost hunting shows.
Oh, okay.
There's a few that like I used to watch and they've gotten weird, so I stopped. But one of my coworkers from my previous job, her husband is on the Tennessee Wraith Chasers show
Oh.
that's on the Travel Channel, and they do some things. So that's been fun to like
Yeah.
to talk about that with them. But Barbie and I actually there's an old house that we just bought that my organization has just bought for transitional housing, but it's empty right now. And it's old. It's on the Scarrett Bennett Vanderbilt like campus. And so we were talking about because we both have equipment. We have the equipment to go ghost hunting. And so we're like, we're going to bring air mattresses and our equipment and like hang out one night.
No.
And, you know, it might be fun to do it on Halloween because, you know,
Well,
everything will be open.
you all enjoy. Oh my Lord. No. Mm-mm.
Chris, ghosts?
Yes, 100% absolutely believe and have experienced. I used to be part of a paranormal investigation group, and we broke it. I mean, we went into this building one night, and I experienced things then that have made me a firm believer.
Do you
Ooh.
want to?
And it only
should
makes
join
sense. Being Buddhist, we look at everything has energy. Everything is made of energy, and energy can't be created or destroyed, only change form. So it makes sense that there is some, energy mass left around. But yeah, what I experienced, I became a lifelong believer.
Ooh, I'm like, we're gonna have to talk about stories at some point,
Yeah.
and maybe you can come to the Ogburn house with us. Do you still have equipment?
No, that was some years ago.
He can film it.
Well, you all enjoy. I will be here.
Oh my gosh, I love that stuff.
I
Yeah, there's all kinds of stories. We don't need to go down a whole thing, but that made me start thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Um, do we want to do one more?
Sure,
Do
one
we
more.
want to? Okay. Let's see. Can you think of a villain or a monster that you think is misunderstood?
Oh wow. Okay. A villain or monster that I think is misunderstood.
I know that's a hard one to think about. Maybe I shouldn't have
Well-
left that one in the thing because there's
There's so many.
I think most of the villains have an origin story that you can see how they would.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's really hard for me to think of because I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. Let's do a different question. For the last one.
Okay. Dressing up your pets for Halloween.
Oh, we don't really often do it, but I think it's adorable.
I love it. I
I
love seeing everyone's pictures.
so cute. I love that stuff.
Yes.
And I don't think we don't have any costumes for Lucy, do we, Chris? We have
We have a Predators jersey and a flotation device. That's about it.
that's right. Sam has some pride.
Yeah,
Like-
your mother got the turtles some costumes.
Yeah, it's all pride related. It's a little pride cape, and it's really funny because it actually stays on Sam for a little bit, but not too long. But I would love to dress up Lucy as just anything. Some of those costumes are so cute.
Yeah, they are. I love seeing pets.
My favorite on other people are the hot dog costumes. My
Yes.
mom has a Dotson, and I love seeing Dotson in little hot dog costumes.
Classic.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Chris,
Okay.
Chris and I dressed up as hot dog and mustard.
Yeah, you did.
We did. So, well, that was fun. I loved it.
Halloween chat.
Exactly. Well, thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week for our, oh my gosh, yeah, the last Grishaversary episode.
Of 2023.
So stay tuned, and we love you all. Long live the Grishaverse.
We're at the end of the hour, so my voice is a little husky. A plus.
No mourners.
No funerals.
This has been GrishaCast. Connect with us on the web at grishacast.com. Send an email to info@grishacast.com.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok at GrishaCast.
And thank you to our amazing staff, Alex, Michelle, Brenda, Lacey,